square inch, you about where your tuning is going to be. If you kind of do what I'm to explain all this, but very well today, is it? All right, take 3, 4, 5, or 7, or whichever one. But yeah, let's get this video going and explain how I figure my port. Well, welcome back. Today's adventure is going to be building up the loading walls. Now, if you're here because you want to learn how to find where you need to build your port, about the basic way for me to explain it would be you need to do length times width, which would give you your overall square inches, and then you would divide that by the volume of the enclosure, which would tell you your square inch per cubic feet, which most manufacturers, if they give you the information on enclosure types, they would give you a square inch of port. That is what we're referencing to when it comes down to trying to figure that out, because you want to have a certain square inch per cubic foot for your speaker to be able to perform at its recommended specs. But yeah, to do that, you basically length times width divided by volume. For me, I ended up having to find my volume of this enclosure in front of the subs, which come to around like 33 cubes. You take that 33 cubes, and like I said, you divide that by the length times width of the port. So for instance, I wanted to try and do like a 20 inch wide port, because that's about where, from the tip of here to the tip of the other seat, it's about 20 inches. Now down here between the seats is around 14 inches. So that's kind of where I scaled it to. I was like, this is where I want it. This is most likely where it's going to end up being. So let's figure out each one of those numbers. And what I did was, you do 14 inches is what's down here, and 20 up here. So the only thing you would have to substitute in the formula would be the 14 inch to the 20 inch. So it would be, say we did the 20, it'd be 20 inches times the length of this, or the height of this, which was, for me, was around 35 inches. So it was 20 times 35, which gave me, I think it was like 700 square inches. And with that 700 square inches, if you divide it by the 33 cubes that I have, it came up to somewhere around 21 square inches per cube in the ported section. These subs, I do believe they are 12 to 18 square inches is what they are recommended for. So it's definitely way bigger than what the subs need. So I went ahead and I figured up the 14 one, and the 14 by 35 gave me somewhere around like 490 square inches. That 490 divided by the 33 come down to 14 square inches, which is like perfect, which is perfect for what those subs are recommended for. So I mean, and to figure out my port, I ended up, if you would go to that 12volt.com, I think it is. Yeah, the 12volt.com. Not sure if you can see that very well, but 12volt.com, the 12volt.com. You go there, you can look up speaker impedances, so that way you can learn how to wire your subs and stuff like that. But if you go there and you hit the sub box calculator at the top, you can go to port length calculator, and because we're going to do basically a slot port, the way I figured mine was, I'm going to do the width of the wall. So if I do 3 sheets thick, it's like 2.25 inches. At that, what you would do is you would calculate port width. Say we wanted to do the 14 inches between the seats, which would be the 14 by 35, which is the height. Box volume 33. And the way I do this to figure this out, to be able to get the port length, is start at 40. All right, say that says 6.7 inches. All right, go up 2, so go to 42. See if that brings the port length down or makes it longer. All right, that does. So 42, go to 44, 2.39 inches. So let's do 44.5, 1.9, which is smaller than what we need, or what the 2.25 for the wall thickness is going to be. So that bring that back to 44, which is the 2.39, which is just shy of 2.5 inches. So I mean, that's close enough. So the port tuning, if I did the 14-inch by 35-inch with the volume at 33 cubes, the tuning should be somewhere between 44 and 45 hertz. Well, 44 and 44.5 hertz. So it's just a little higher than 44 hertz. Now that's how I figure out what my port tuning is going to be, by what I figured out on how much port area to volume I had. If that makes any sense to y'all, sorry, it is not easy for, it's not easy for me to explain kind of how I do what I do. It's easier for me to just kind of go along, do the steps and everything, and make things happen. But for explaining it is a little on the difficult side. Hopefully I can get better at that. But yeah, well, now that that's kind of explained a little bit, hopefully, let's start building. All right. Well, let's get to it. there's the first cut. You see, this is the 20-inch. This is for the smallest I need to go, so I need to trim off at the marks up there as well. Section off, and then duplicate it on this side a couple more times, and should be.